Hello, I'm Rowan, and I'm putting up a video today because, I've been I've been having a big pain in the butt, a big headache about trying to get a video card lately, and um, I've been wondering why no one's talking about it. And I've spent a bunch of time looking up stuff and trying to figure out what the heck is going on with these prices. Graphic cards are just ridiculously expensive these days. And I've been trying to figure it out. And for about a month here, nobody was saying anything. But now it's starting to show up. People are starting to talk about what's going on. So I figured it was time to put in my 2 cents on what's going on. So, even if you live under a rock, you have probably become aware that the price of cards have just gone through the roof. I mean, and you might blame the politics right now, and to some extent, you'd be right because a lot of companies don't want to do anything except raise their prices when it comes to a situation like the one that we're in right now, where they don't know where the next buck is going to come from, what kind of laws are going to be enacted, and just ugly things are going to happen. And businesses hate change. And one of the ways that they insure against change is by making sure they get every penny out of the people they can. Yeah, so that would be one of the reasons, obviously. But it's not really the biggest ones when it comes down to it. The fact is, all three graphics card manufacturers have had a bit of a rough time in the last year or so. AMD has been on a steady decline in the market value over the past year. And here, let's take a look at that here. AMD's stock price, for example, this is all the way over there on the left is where it started about a year ago, where it was. And of course, all the way at the right here is where it's at now. And you can see that they've just had this huge, steady decline that's only had a couple of little pop ups here due to release of their new video cards. And of course, you know, uh, once those things topped out and you couldn't get them anymore, well, you'd think that their value would be going up, but the fact is they're not selling anything. They're running out of stock and they're having issues. And those issues are causing a decline in their value. They had some lackluster launches, products that underperformed, and it's just just the way it is. Their market share is shrinking too, and we'll get to the reason for that later. Now, Intel, they've also had issues with their stock plummeting due to the 13th and 14th generation CPUs just flat out dying and overheating and losing capabilities. And that hit their stock, and it made it kind of difficult for them to, make money. So, in the middle of all that, they were trying to put out a bunch of new video cards. The A series had like, what, six, eight different. It's got just, right now, it has some ridiculous number of variations. Usually, in a product launch, there's only like 3 or 4 different grades of card that come out. And when you have so many different variations, you need different processors made for them. And it's hard to have that supply made when you've got 2 other companies, fighting with you at the same time. So let's take a look at their chart here. You can see that we had a steep decline in their value over a period of time. Then it leveled out as the Intel Arc A series was announced and started coming out. And then we had this little problem here with, the 13th and 14th generation CPUs having problems. There's rumors of them, there's rumors, and then they had to admit there's a problem, and boom, all the way down here. And ever since then, they've been struggling to make any money at all. And yeah, I mean, that's just a reflection of how things are going for them. And of course, it's hard to produce cards. And when you have so many different variations of card, you have a problem there. Anyhow, so yeah, their stock has sucked. This is obvious that both AMD and Intel have had some major issues. Now, you would think that Nvidia, with their stock here, was doing so much better. And it's true, they've had a lot of gains, but they've also had some bad launches where you couldn't get any equipment that was actually being sold, and you couldn't get it for MSRP. And oh, look, these new cards have some problem with ROPS. ROPS. I think those are raster operations or something like that. They're supposed to have a certain number of them, and they don't, which means, you're paying a whole lot of money for a card and it's underperforming by 6%. Yeah, you don't think that's much, but if it's supposed to do a lot, 6% loss is a lot. And so, how is NVIDIA stock doing so well, even with these, hideous launches and bad equipment? And they're constant. Oh, there's no problem with this. By the way, Jimmy, check all the damn laptops and make sure that the processors in there aren't having problems. But no, we don't have any problem with those. No, it was only with these couple of models, and you should just go talk to your sales partner and get those replaced. Yeah. Phew. So, how is NVIDIA stock doing so well? Well, it's because they've shifted to being a high-end hardware developer for AI products. Yeah, their biggest customers are not the gamer. Their biggest customers are, according to this article here, Amazon and Meta and, of course, Microsoft. All those companies are working really hard with AI, and yeah, they're going to be working on their own GPUs. But in the meantime, there's this thing called Blackwell. Yeah, Blackwell, that this company named NVIDIA came out with. And these guys are buying tons and tons of Blackwell. And that's how you get NVIDIA stock doing so well, even with crappy graphics card launches. That explains some of why their stock has been going up, and explains some of why these other two companies have been going down. But the other part is that, well, TSMC is where everybody has their chipsets made for these cards. And yeah, they're putting $1 billion investment in U.S. data centers now. That's because, well, again, they've been planning this for a while, so it's not really the Trump stuff. TSMC, yeah, they're in Taiwan, and they had an earthquake earlier this year, right? Or was it late last year? In any case, they've had kind of a constriction on their ability to make the actual dies and to pump out product for these three companies. So we have a constriction in supply and an ever increasing amount of demand from these companies. Oh, and you know, where they get the most butter for their bread is not from these two other companies that are just making gaming GPUs. They're getting a lot of money. I mean, they're getting a lot of money from NVIDIA for this Blackwell product, which NVIDIA is selling for a whole lot more. And so, why is that? Well, it's because it costs a lot to develop this chip. This, well, you can call it a card. It's just gigantic thing, and it costs a lot of money to make the parts. And they're putting that into TSMC, and TSMC is making the most money that they can with, one product. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in the background, why you can't get enough video cards on launch, and why after the launch you go to try to buy a video card when the next group comes in and suddenly it costs so much more because that MSRP can't be sustained because of the fact that it's costing the companies more to get these cards built than it should. Yeah, and even NVIDIA has that same problem because they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, you know? All the Blackwell chips that are having TSMC make are resulting in even them not getting the chips they need for their next generation of video cards for gamers and for regular production people. Yay, isn't that wonderful? Then there's this scalper issue, right? It's like, oh, sharks smell blood in the water, and you get more sharks, and then there's more blood in the water. Um, these scalpers are using bots to basically, go online to places like Amazon and Newegg and all these other companies. And the second a card goes up for sale, these bots are there buying them and automatically converting them and selling them on eBay for double the cost. Yay! Free market, right? Geez. So, yeah, there's all these things going on. And, geez, I don't, it's just such a depressing time. I'd like to think that eventually people are just going to get upset and stop buying these new cards because, well, you can only get burned so much, when you buy a product or you go to buy a product and you find out that it's costing you at least 50% more if you can get the product. And by the time you go through the paperwork to buy the product, some bot swoops in and steals the product out from underneath you and buys it. And then you have to go and find it on the secondary market. And you look at it and it's going to cost you twice as much. I would think that people would eventually sit there and go, I'll just live with the card I have for a while. Yeah, but what if the card you have is 2 or 3 generations old? Then what happens is you start buying the last generation of video cards that are still available. Like right now, Intel's Battlemage cards are out, and getting them is, your choice is to somehow get lucky and buy something that's way over MSRP when it first shows up, or, um, you know, go to the, I guess, nationally sanctioned scalper. I don't know if that's what it really is, but I've been noticing things like, there's this company, WeLio or something like that, that's based out of Shenzhen, China, and they've had these really overpriced cards on the market and at various online retailers. And I've noticed that they've been selling Goodyear products. Goodyear's a different company, and officially, Relio is a reseller um, of products, and evidently they're supposedly an official reseller of some sort. I don't know, but lately I've also been seeing that they've been selling Spark branded Battle Mage cards, as well as the Gunir Battle Mage cards. It's like they decided that they wanted to buy the low end cost cards and then not even put their logo on them, but just resell them immediately at a profit. I don't understand what's really going on there. I don't know what the legalities are. I don't know if this is some insider trading happening between Taiwan, where Sparkle is based, and China, where Wilio is based, or if Wilio is doing some strong arm tactics on them or what. But you can't buy a Sparkle brand trademark B series card, even though they have them listed on their website. If we go to the Sparkle website, look here. Here it is, Sparkle Intel Arc B Series graphics card. This one is the B580 Titan OC, and it has an MSRP of $269.99. If you go on to Amazon or Newegg or whatever, and you look up a Sparkle B580, you're only going to find them from Wilio, and they're going to be way more than $269. Yeah, and then if you come down here to the B570, and you can see that it's listed as $229. It too is only available from Wilio. So I don't know what the deal is there. But basically, Sparkle is supposed to be the low end cost variant of these cards, and you can't get them. So, yeah, that's just weird, don't you think? The actual manufacturers of the cards, the people who make the cards don't have any ability to sell anything because they can't get anything produced. And then when they do sell them, between pirate scalpers and official retailers or resellers, you get this massive markup. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how these prices have been going up. Yeah, I mean, now though, you can go to, Paul's Hardware and, watch a video about what's going on. You can go and go to Gamers Nexus and watch about a video that's going on. You could even go to this website here and it'll tell you all about why everything is such a big pain in the butt right now. But what you can't do is get a card for a reasonable price. It seems like such a bummer, but in the long run, these prices will eventually come down. I know that. There will be a correction. Scalpers will lose money, and like that crypto mining thing. It went for a while, and then suddenly nobody's doing that anymore. I don't know, or maybe all the crypto miners have been pinching their pennies, and they're going to go get a Blackwell card. Yeah, maybe. And I don't know. It's just a sad state of affairs, but I am always optimistic that this stuff will all clear up and we will get to a point where we can afford new things again. And yeah, but I also think that there's going to be something about these prices never really coming down either. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be such a downer, but I've run out of things to say about this. I do hope, though, that the situation will clear up soon enough that we won't be sitting around wanting, this latest generation of cards that we couldn't get that's no longer available, and watching the scalpers line up again for the next generation of cards that come out. Considering that, there's all these AGPs or neural GPs or what is it, neural processing units that they're trying to put on motherboards, that's making the need for graphics cards get smaller. Um, it's changing. It's changing the market. But I don't want to buy a whole new motherboard and a new chip, and deal with putting together another computer for a ridiculous amount of money so that I can get an AGP when I could just buy a video card. Maybe they'll be putting AGPs on PCI cards. I don't know if that's like a doable thing, if that's going to become the new GPU of the future, because supposedly these neural processing units are supposed to make your computer work so much faster that you don't need a GPU. Um, or that these, integrated graphics is supposed to be getting so good that you don't need a GPU. Well, honestly, I don't know. Um, I'll have to look into that some more. But um, I don't think that's happening fast enough, and I don't think the cost effectiveness is there yet. Because obviously, they always want you to buy something new, but I don't think they've really tapped the GPU market yet. Obviously, considering how many people have been sitting around trying to get these GPUs. I'm going in circles now. So I don't really know. I'm hoping though. I'm hoping that this market clears up, that the scalpers go away, that the with TSMC building another processing plant, hopefully that works out well. They've spent some ridiculous amount of money on it, but you know, um, yeah, blame it on Nvidia. Just blame it on them. They got broad shoulders and a lot of money in their pockets. They can afford to take the hurt. Yeah. They are, of course, part of the big problem. Their whole ability to spend a bunch of money and tie up processing and get everything for what they need to do for their high end is causing issues for everyone else. But what you gonna do? TSMC has got to be able to make more product, and hopefully, in the end, they're able to do that. And maybe Intel will actually finish its its own manufacturing plant. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've ended this video about 4 times. So, on that wonderfully bright note, I have run out of things to say about this messed up situation, and I hope it clears up. And while it's clearing up, I hope you have a great day. You enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Bye.